Jessica, your lunch looks so good. Why, thanks, Paula. And the best part is, it fits into my macros. Macros? What do you mean? What are macros? Hey everyone! Welcome to my second video. This is officially a 1-week update on what's been going on in my life with my meal prep and with my training. Before I get kind of started with the meal prep aspect of it, I wanted to kind of touch on a subject that many people like myself had no clue what it was whenever I would hear people talk about their macro and their micros. Well, no one really talks about their micros. I would talk about their macros. I would hear this a lot in the fitness community, or some of my friends that were working out, or some of the bodybuilders that would come into my gym, and I'm thinking, what the heck? What are macros? I don't know what it is, but I was kind of too embarrassed to ask. So I did my research. I'm also currently getting my diploma in personal nutrition through an online course, so I'm learning a lot of information, things I didn't know in the past. But basically, macros and micronutrients, what are they? Okay, macronutrients, very, very simple, aka macros, your proteins, your carbs, and your fats. Essential things that your body needs to function on a day-to-day basis. You can get further into that and you can talk about your high biological value and your low biological value foods in terms of that. But basically your macros are the larger quantities of things that your bodies need to function on a day-to-day basis. And then your micronutrients are your vitamins that you need to go along with that, and they're in smaller portions. Now the big question when you're on meal prep is, how do I track my macros? That is the question that you hear all the time. And it's actually quite simple. Say you have a bag of almonds. You look on the back of the almonds. I'm gonna grab my almonds. You're gonna look at the content of your food, whether it's in a box, a bag, or you find the information online, whatever. You're gonna see the label. So for instance, these almonds. Everything is listed in them. All right, there we go. All right, so as you can see, we have the serving size is what you'll be looking at, if that's what you need, is one serving size. So you get to look at the fat, the carbs, the protein in them, and you can see all the little fun facts about this food. There's a good app called MyFitnessPal, and it's really simple to keep track of your micros and your macros. You plug in the food that you eat, and it will give you the content of all the food. Most of it is already in its system or whatnot, and it gives you a little chart of what you're eating, if you're over, if you're under, where you need to be. And you can put in all your food into this little guy. It's very simple. If anybody has any questions about how to set up MyFitnessPal, just leave a comment and I can make a video on it, but it's really, really self-explanatory. But basically you look at all the contents of your food in terms of what your body would need, and then that's what you would plug into. It's the same for everything, whether it's a carton, a bag, a little jar of Buff Bake. Taking a second to say, Buff Bake, I love you. Everyone get a good look at this. I have a bunch of different flavors in my pantry, but this one is delicious. I put just a little bit in my oatmeal so that I don't go over, but just enough to give me the flavor that I love. But basically you'll see all of the labels look the same for the most part, and then you're able to track from there. So everything that you need essential to yourself. How do you find out what your macros will be? Well, that you have to do a little bit of research on. Then see what fits your body and what feels right and what you need if you're training or if you're not training, doing a show, etc. There is a website, I think it's iifym.com, which I finally know what that means. So if you ever see hashtag iifym, it is if it fits your macros. My mind exploded once I found that out, because I would see this on all of my Instagram feeds, seeing people would be like, my food for the night, hashtag IIFYM. And I'm like, okay, I don't really know what that means. And I would click on other posts, see food in there, and I'm like, all right, this is something that has to do with food, something that's in the fitness community. I should probably find out what that is. But I couldn't figure out if it fits your macros, what that was, until I learned what macros were. So like I said, you could dive further into that and go with your high biological value and your low biological value. Wow, that's a mouthful. What I've learned doing meal prep, tracking my macros, I don't have to eat the same meal the same 6 meals every single day. In the beginning, that's what I thought, and I was thinking this is gonna get really, really boring very quickly. Nope. As long as it fits into my macros. I don't want to go over and I don't want to be under, but I can find foods that fit the carbs, the fats, and the proteins that I need, and I can keep using those recipes, learning new things to put that into my daily diet plan, which is very cool because I can get experimental and learn many new ways to cook things. My mom called me, aka domestically incompetent, when I was home and I was in school living with her, because I spent most of my time in high school playing music and being in the art programs and never really learned the domestic side of things like the cooking. So I don't have a strong sense of that now, but I'm getting much better every day, and I'm actually finding out that when I'm in the kitchen, I'm pretty decent at it. If I just follow the directions, I've made some pretty tasty meals so far to go with my prep, and I'm very excited about that because now I can feed myself, and I have my wonderful boyfriend to thank also. Anthony has been very great and supportive. He is doing the meal prep with me as well, just to show me that he supports me. He's being a little lax here and there. For the most part, he's following it step by step with me. And he's been great. He's been staying up with me, till like 3 in the morning, cooking food, figuring out how all this prep's gonna work, and kind of supporting my journey the whole time. So 2 thumbs up for Ant. Thank you. Love you. But that leads me into what I wanted to talk about now. My first week on meal prep. What did I expect? I expected to be hungry. Expectation? Reality? Yes, I was very hungry at first, adjusting to that, because I eat about 6 meals a day now, and they're all portioned at 3-hour intervals. Sometimes I was 2.5 hours in, and I just had to cave and eat. But I knew that I would be expecting some hunger symptoms because I'm used to just eating whenever I need it. I do eat very healthy and like very clean in a sense, if you will, but those were on my own terms. When I was hungry, I would have something, and now I'm training my body to do the 6 meals a day, and it was kind of like, what are you doing? It's all out of whack, and with my work schedule, nothing was consistent before, and now I'm having something consistent, which is great. My body loves that and feels good, but I'm not used to that. So I expected to be hungry, definitely was hungry, still am a little hungry, but I think my body's adjusting now because it's been a week. As of tomorrow will be a week. As far as preparation, there is a boatload more work than I expected it to be. I knew that there would be a lot of cooking involved, but I didn't know exactly how much. To have my foods all portioned out, to figure out what I need throughout the week and figure out how much to make in that certain time, because I don't need to make for an entire week because I don't want the food to spoil, but cooking for like 3 or 4 days on end, I didn't realize how much work actually went into that. And Anthony, again, has been so great, like helping alongside, both taking the time to like trade off cooking shifts or doing it together. But I didn't realize how much you actually had to cook. So the first couple of days we were not making enough food to continue on for the next day. So then we'd be short and we'd have to keep cooking. And then it became like we were cooking single meals, and that was taking even more time up. So that wasn't working. So now we're finally getting in the swing that it's been a week, adjusting, figuring out how much we need and how much we can actually cook. So things are getting better on that aspect, but it's been kind of funny actually realizing, oh no, we don't have any more sweet potatoes at like 12:30, having to cook some sweet potatoes, setting alarms, so that we don't fall asleep, just trying to keep each other occupied and have the time pass without, setting the house on fire. But it's fun. It's a lot of fun. And it's very interesting to learn what your body needs and how to nourish it. The reason that I'm so into fitness now and nutrition is that it's so awesome. You can pretty much create the body that you want based on your diet and your lifestyle. I have a food scale now, and I can measure out my food for my prep. I'm not going to be on prep forever because it's not realistic to be on that way forever, and my body needs more than what I'll be getting for prep. So I'll have to learn how to reverse diet, you know, and speed up my metabolism for when it will slow down towards the end when I get closer and closer to prep. I mean, as I get closer and closer to the competition, I know that my metabolism will be slowed, so I have to get that back up. But I think that it's really interesting that you can give your body exactly what it needs for the vision that you have in your head. Of course, you have to work hard. Diet and exercise go together. You know, they are best friends. They are the SpongeBob and Patrick of fitness, in a sense, if you guys watch SpongeBob, or if I'm actually too old to be saying that now. But so far so good. I am down a pound, which is great. I'm down to 115. I didn't want to be losing any rapid weight, but I did expect to shed some water weight because I did cut out sodium in my food for the most part, like extra sodium that I didn't need, so that helped get rid of that water retention, and I upped my water to 1 gallon a day, which actually isn't as tough as it seems. Every time that you feel like you're hungry, you just take a sip and you realize you're not hungry because you're training your body. It is full, but it's sending the wrong signals because it's very confused. So I've been able to drink that to help keep all the water weight down, and I do feel fantastic. My skin has cleared up, I have more energy, and I don't have those tired bags under my eyes, as you can see. I don't have concealer on, so it's a little scary, but I don't have any sort of tiredness to my face. And here it is about, what time is it? 10:30 at night, and I still feel, you know, I got good energy, I'm getting a little tired, but I don't look overworked and overwhelmed, which is yay, thumbs up for not feeling completely tired all the time. In conclusion, I learned that you need to be more prepared in your preparation, if that makes sense. You have to figure out exactly what to cook and how much you need in a certain time frame. You can have fun with your meal prep diet because you can find what proteins, fats, and carbs will fit into your diet, so you just don't have to eat eggs and oatmeal every morning. You know, you can experiment and make maybe some protein pancakes or a waffle. And that you'll get very hungry. But it's okay, because once you start to not feel hungry anymore, you start to feel great. And your body just will thank you for it. You'll see it in rewards, like, you know, your skin clearing up, not feeling as tired, the benefits. There's so many benefits of just drinking more water alone that I couldn't even touch on that. It'd be a whole separate video of water, what water does, but I'm sure that most people know water is essential and you can't do anything without water, so upping your water intake is always a good thing. Okay, so I guess that's it for this time. I will have something interesting to talk about next week and maybe have some workout videos showing you guys some workouts that I do for certain areas of my body. Or if there's anything that you wanted to see, just let me know, because I'm really open to this and I'm really happy to share my experience with everyone that watches. So stay tuned if you want to see more. You can subscribe if you just like to get notified if I put something out, or if not, just click on my Facebook where I put this up anyway. So I hope everybody had a wonderful St. Patrick's Day. I have my green on because I am an Irish girl, but I will not be drinking tonight because I have goals. So, but I hope that everyone has a happy and safe St. Patrick's Day. And you know that good old saying is Pogue Mahone. So if you know what that means, comment it below and have a good laugh about it. So have a good night, everyone. Bye.